Now, witchcraft. Wasn't that a beautiful transition? Witchcraft. The reason why I had to say all those things before I got to witchcraft is because I need you to see how it exists. Because I went and looked up the definition of witchcraft, and I had to break up the word witch and then craft, and then witch is in the dictionary as a woman who's like has evil intent. And I was just like, I know this is bullshit. Y'all just always trying to trigger somebody. And I'm here to tell you that curses and spells are real. They exist, they are true, and all because of what I mentioned to you about the monkeys and what now I also want to say, after I say all that, who gives a shit that it's real? Who cares that it is real? This whole message is to teach you how to not care if someone is around talking mad mess, or if you know that someone is wishing on your downfall. All right. So this video, hi, my name is Ariel, and this channel is This is Queen Elizabeth. And this video is about witchcraft. Huh? Are you going to tell me? Are you going to tell me I was wrong? Insert clip.
I'm going to stab him.
You're going to look at me and you're going to tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong?
It's my favorite
She
movie.
wore a crown and she came down in a bubble.
So this video is about curses and spells and gossip. Oh my. Curses and spells and gossip. Oh my. Right? It is about what is happening to you that you don't realize, and the magnitude of what's happening to you, to us, and the things that are done in the shadows that we participate in and don't realize, and that what other people participate in and don't realize. So you have to follow me in. I'm going to hold your hand while I say this. This is going to be a little journey. We're going to walk up to it, okay? But stay with me. We're together, okay? There are these monkeys. Picture this. No, but for real. There was these monkeys on an island, and they were being observed by scientists. And there was this one female monkey. Her name was, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it was IMO. I believe it's probably IMO. And she began washing sweet potatoes in the ocean. So there's these monkeys. They live on an island. And IMO decided that she got tired of the grit in her mouth from these sweet potatoes. Okay, so she's sick of the grit. So she decides, something in her goes, you know what? I'm going to get this off. So she decides to go to the ocean, and she rinses off her sweet potato. The other monkeys on the island go, she's onto something. That was a good idea. So they all decide to also wash off their sweet potatoes in the ocean because they don't want the grit in their mouth. The interesting thing about this story is that what the scientists have observed, or what they observed, was that the monkeys on the other islands also started to rinse off their sweet potatoes. Are you following me? Are you walking with me? They didn't understand. Now, these monkeys are on islands. They're separated. They can't get to one another. How is it that one monkey had a thought, and that this thought traveled through to the other islands? All right, that gets you to thinking about what about our physical beings allows this to happen. Okay, hold my hand. Hold my hand. Okay, why did I tell you that? Well, walk with me. We all do know that we live in a subatomic universe. We all know that we're subatomic particles, correct? You know that you're neurons and protons and electrons that move in an electronic field, correct? So atoms, now that we know that we all are part of this universe and we all actually exist as atoms. We see solid form. Our eyes are allowed to see solid form. However, the truest nature of existence is that we are all neutrons, protons, and electrons. And the truth of neutrons, protons, and electrons is that they are not solids. They are forever vibrating, forever moving. They have to, because that's the electromagnetic field. So the sense of solid is actually an illusion to you. It's the trick that this existence plays on you. So you can have the sense of individuality, right? But the truth of it is that we're always intermingling, waving through one another. And that's why sometimes you can feel someone looking at you even though your head is turned, or why you might have an idea and then an hour later someone comes to you with that same idea. This is that same energy. It's this wave that moves all of our consciousness and puts all of our consciousness together. And that's why when that monkey was cleaning that sweet potato on the one island, the other monkeys could also sense the new knowledge and picked it up out of the ethers and also decided to start cleaning its sweet potatoes. And they also say that the more energies or the more people who start to adapt the same understanding pushes that new understanding across the universe, right? The ethers. Are you with me? Are you holding on? Are we together? Okay. So your body emotes an electromagnetic field. Insert clip. Your body is also an electromagnetic field. It also moves out into through the universe. What you feel, that's why when you walk in a room, people go, "Are you mad?" They already see that you're mad. They already see that you're upset. It's your aura. It's your energy that's pushing off into the universe. This is why everyone started freaking out about the 5G thing, because there's some people who know that this is going on, right? Now, witchcraft. Wasn't that a beautiful transition? Witchcraft. The reason why I had to say all those things before I got to witchcraft is because I need you to see how it exists. And I don't even like the word witchcraft, because I went and looked up the definition of witchcraft, and I had to break up the word witch and then craft, and then witch is in the dictionary as a woman who's like has evil intent. And I was just like, I know this is bullshit. Y'all just always trying to trigger somebody. But the words that I do like, or that I can understand, are curses, spells, and gossip. Curses, spells, and gossip. What is a curse? A curse is an evil enchantment, a religious condemnation. That's a spell and a curse. And gossip are words that bring harm in relationships or reputation. And I'm here to tell you that curses and spells are real. They exist, they are true, and all because of what I mentioned to you about the monkeys and what I mentioned to you about how you feel and how people can pick up on how you feel and how you can pick up on what other people feel. And it's real because of how I taught you about atoms. Are we following? Now, I also want to say, after I say all that, who gives a shit that it's real? Who cares that it is real? This whole message is to teach you how to not care if someone is around talking mad mess, or if you know that someone is wishing on your downfall. This is what this video is about. My daughter always says, but you have to believe. But you have to believe. And she's exactly right. But you have to believe. Now, it's kind of contradicting for me to go, oh, it's true, but you have to believe. But this is what I mean by it. All right? You need to know why. First, you need to know how a curse or a spell is developed. How is a curse or a spell developed? It starts with someone who wants to control you. A curse and a spell comes from an energy of someone who wants to control you. It comes from an energy of someone who wants to assert power. This is where it comes from. Which already they lost, but that's neither here nor there. I digress. But why do they want to control you? Because they feel powerless. So first you have to understand that people who do curses and people who do spells feel powerless. So they feel like they have to move in this energy. All right. That's just 1 + 1 = 3 type of thing. Okay? Okay? Right, left, up, down. If someone is pushing this off to you, that means that there's something about your existence that they feel powerless about. Okay, let's keep going. I need you to always remember that. That's the baseline. All right? Okay. What do they want to control? What do they want to control? Okay? Well, who knows what they want to control? But for you to combat whatever spell, whatever curse, or whatever gossip that you're hearing about yourself, for you to combat that, you need to pay attention. You have to pay attention to what's happening in your life. Pay attention to what you're thinking about. pay attention to what the energies are saying. Okay? That is the energy that they're pushing at you, that they believe that you are weak in. Okay? So these powerless energies, they've been paying attention to you, or maybe they haven't. Whatever. But whatever they're pushing towards you, they're hoping that that is your weak spot. Are you following me? Okay? All right. So maybe you've been feeling ugly, or maybe maybe your money's been funny, or maybe your relationship hasn't been working out. Anything, okay? You have to start seeing or looking at what is being highlighted in your life, and you have to be the one to focus on that. This is where you start asking yourself why. Why do I feel ugly? When did I start feeling ugly? I wonder where this came from. How can I make myself not feel this way? Every time you feel like, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm realizing that some people are actually a part of organizations that actually move magic around. People who actually dive into energies. This is why I'm bringing this up, because there's organizations or there's individuals, and you see it all the time on TikTok. What's that one song? Bitch, I want your head on my nightstand, in a jar on my nightstand. Here we go. I kind of like this song though. I want your head in a jar on my nightstand. It is prominent now in our lives that there's some people who want to put you in a jar. There's some people who are going to look into your life, do tarot on you. There's some people who are going to actually be in front of their group of people with cauldrons and praying and chanting, which would be the extreme. But also in our everyday lives, there are people who are going to be talking mad shit. When 2 or 3 come together, there's going to be people who look at you and they're going to say, oh, they are this, they are that, they're not this, they're not that. And that is the same energy. This is the same energy as someone coming together saying, hey, I'm going to put them in a jar. Same energy, because they're trying to control you. They're trying to control you because they feel powerless. Are we following? The thing is, no one can curse you with what you've already healed. No one can curse you with what you've already made conscious. Are we following? So even if someone is gossiping, let's say it's on that end of the spectrum. Let's say there's gossiping about you, and even if it's true, let's say that whatever they're saying about you is true. The first thing you need to do is never address the outside energy. In anything that you do in life, the first thing should never be addressing the outside energy. The first thing is always addressing your internal energy. Why the hell is this irritating me? Why is it that if they're talking about me, why does that irritate me? What are they talking about? What are their intentions? What are they trying to do to me? Why do I care if they're trying to do this to me? You have to address all those things. And once you address it, no one can put a spell on you. No one can curse you. And if it is gossip in this physical world, then what you would notice is maybe you shouldn't be around them people. Maybe you shouldn't be at that job. Maybe you also were gossiping. And maybe you've been talking too much. Maybe you've been talking to the wrong people. Maybe you feel threatened by them. Maybe they feel threatened by you. Maybe you feel less than. Well, every time you ask yourself these questions, you're building knowledge. And the knowledge that you build allows you to combat these energies. So even if it's in a work setting and you've asked yourself all these questions and you've come to your conclusion, then you can make a decision, a well-rounded, thought-out decision on what your next move is going to be about this gossip. And if this is magic, right? If this is someone who's trying to actually voodoo you, and you look inside and you go ahead and talk to yourself and go, actually, I don't know. I don't even know why I've been feeling ugly. I never feel ugly, actually. You know what? I realized when this came up the other day when I was at the grocery store, and this lady ran up to me and said, oh, I'm pretty to be dark skinned. Right? That's when this came up. Oh, this is that heifer's energy that she's trying to push on me. I don't feel that way. And let me tell you something too. I've learned that you never know who is working for chaos. You never know who is an agent of chaos out here in this world. You never know. You are not fighting people. You're fighting principalities. You're fighting energies of authority, energies who want to stay stuck in the heaviness. So they want you to act out. They want you to flip out. And that's why you always have to look inside. You know what? I don't feel ugly. Where did that come from? Oh, now you have the energy to counteract whatever it was trying to throw on you. And then for anyone who decides that they actually do want to move in spell work and actually do want to move in controlling someone's energy, you have to understand, this is why I don't do spells. This is why I don't believe that. This is why I do not stand with spells and I do not stand with curses. It's because I believe in sovereignty. Sovereignty is your birthright. Sovereignty is free will. That's what the universe, the powers that be, the universal creator, God, however you identify with this energy, that's what it gave you. So if you're a person who moves in, I want to control this thing, you have to understand what you're saying now. And I hope that whoever I'm talking to who actually does this energy, you should feel me now. You should be hip on me, right? You have to understand what you're doing. First of all, you're automatically sitting in the energy of powerlessness. You're already automatically, instantaneously, as soon as you start writing down your curse, or as soon as you lock hands with your partners, as soon as you sit in that, you are telling the universe that I am afraid. Do you realize? You're saying, I'm scared. I'm so scared. I want to control this sovereign. So you have to understand that you are what you eat, that your intentions are currency, and that whatever you're looking for is looking for you. Do you understand? Yes, we can do spells and yes, we can do curses, but does that mean that you are supposed to be moving in that energy at this time? Who gave you the authority? Did the Most High tell you that it was time to do that? Because you don't have the divine foresight. Even if you're a psychic, and I want y'all to know, I believe in things like this. Even if you're a psychic and you have foresight and you can see, or even if you can call on the divinations and you can see the future, you can't see all of the future. You're only ever given really what the divine wants you to see. So I would really be like, don't too much play with that energy. And if spell work, and when I was done writing all of this and done with my passage, and I was like, okay, universe, this is what I'm going to talk about today. When I was done, I was like, is there anything else you would like me to say? And this is what the universe stated. And if spell work has worked on you, if gossiping has worked on you, if someone has sent you a curse and it has worked on you, it is because the universal creator has allowed it to work. Because now it is time for expansion in your heart space and accountability. It's stated that you're a sovereign and no earthly energies have the power to end or begin you. This only works if you mirror its fear, if you mirror its powerlessness. So if you find yourself feeling ugly because you went to the grocery store one day and you bumped into a lady and she said, oh, you have nice skin. You're cute to be dark skinned, and it triggered you, let's say, okay? And now you feel ugly. And you feel ugly and you feel ugly and you're going out the day and you feel ugly and you're going out the weeks and you feel ugly and you're going out through the months and you feel ugly. The universe has allowed that because it needs you to address why in the hell would you ever feel ugly about what it has created and what you are. Now it's time to heal your heart space. Now it's time for expansion. Now it's time for accountability. That is the only time that these curses or spells or gossip work would ever work, because the divine has allowed. And that's funny because now I'm sitting here too, and it's like people think that they're actually doing something. You're not doing anything. If you've done a love spell on someone, A love spell means that you feel like this person isn't caring for you or they don't care about you. So you've done a love spell. First of all, if it works for a while, it's because God has allowed it to work, because that person needs to learn whatever lesson it needs to learn. But also what's happening is automatically you have become obsessed. If you do love spells, automatically you are now the person who is obsessed. Are we following? Because now you're watching them every day. You're driving by their house. You're talking to their friends. You want to know. You want the evidence of, is this person obsessed? Does this person love me? And that's why it's you are what you eat. Your intentions are currency, and whatever you're looking for is looking for you. And even if the spell worked for a while, it won't work forever. It's designed that way. It's only going to work for as long as it needs to work to move that person to their next level of expansion. We get it. We get it. We get it. We get it. You play people. Don't. I don't know. As for myself, I always knew not to play with certain things. There's certain things I just never played with, and this is why. And I don't even know if I should be telling you guys this because it's so beyond. But there's some people who can naturally move in alchemy. People who can manipulate energies, transfer, actually move energy. There's people who are naturally that way. And there's people who know it exists and they use other energies to make it work. Okay? So it's like they call on other energies to do their bidding. Why would you? You don't even know who you're calling on. And then you don't even know who you're sending the energy to. And it depends on whoever you're sending the energy to. Even if it worked for a while, it won't work forever. But now you have partnered yourself with an outside energy. You've outsourced because you don't really have that power to manipulate energy. So you're binded. You've now binded yourself to this energy. And when it's time to pay, who do you think is coming for? Because whatever you're looking for is looking for you. Who do you think is coming for? Who is the energy gonna get him? It's gonna be paid. And then some people don't have any energy at all. Some people are not connected to I don't even know what to call it. They're not spiritually inclined or religiously inclined. And they're just regular people who move in this energy, but they do things like get in groups. And all their group members do have different jobs. Maybe one is a mayor, maybe one's a teacher, maybe one's a leasing agent, maybe one's a doctor, maybe one's all right? And they start maneuvering through their own network of gossiping about people or trying to control the masses that way. But they're not inclined to know about spirituality or religious reality, right? Even though they're still moving in it and don't know it. So they think they're just getting one up in the physical world, not realizing that you also have a debt to pay. It's inevitable. Because you're going against natural law. Either way, the whole point of this message was to tell you that there's things that you don't see. And that is what you're made of. Because what you're made of is actually on a subatomic level. That our eyes play an illusion on us when you see solid forms. All these things are actually vibrating. They're not solid at all. They all move in this electronic field, in this electronic wave, carrying the consciousness of all, carrying ideas and inspirations and hopes, things that are beneficial and things that are detrimental. I need you to know this. This is why it's so important for you to always check in with yourself to make sure that whatever you're picking up is something you want to pick up, something that will build you, something that makes you laugh, something that brings you laughter, honesty, fulfillment. Because even though you're living your everyday life, getting up, going to work, going to church, getting the kids ready for school, you forget the truth of your nature, and you're picking up what other people are sending you, or you're picking up the hive mind of our culture and not checking in with self. And then you're wondering why you're feeling sluggish, why you don't see any opportunities, why you can't come up with any ideas. I love you.